All right, esteemed webinar attendees, you spoke and we listened. You demanded that Mike Poltz come back.
Hello.
For another webinar. Mike, hope you're doing well.
Doing good,
Good. Excellent. So here we are, guys. 7 ways to split test a landing page as a publisher activation manager. And working with publishers all the time, I get this question quite often. Do you have your own creatives? What would you recommend? And I would recommend watching this video above all else before you start getting into creatives. We're going to talk about split testing. Mike, of course, is head of our internal publishing team over here. He has a lot of experience working with creatives and landing pages and knows what to tweak and what to get rid of in order to have a good conversion rate. So that being said, let's get to it. Let's get our faces out of here. That's enough. That's all I need to see.
You guys have seen too much already.
Yeah, we have. Oh, and I'm super prepared here. Okay, there we go. So 7 ways to split test landing page, of course, hosted by myself, Henry Ski, and Mike Poltz, media buyer. And of course, in the background, you have Ring Paneer, or I guess the picture is different in this one.
Rin Artner.
It's Rin Artner. Okay, so on the agenda, Mike, we've got why split test, and of course, the topic, 7 ways to split test a landing page. Tell us a little bit about the overview here.
Okay, so I'll start off with a little bit of why I think you should split test. And similar to your AdWords campaigns, you should always be testing. Test more than one landing page to see which perform and which converts the best. You can create as many or as few landing pages as you want, and you don't just need to test 2. Once you've decided what to test on the landing page, headline, call to action, or pictures, you can start to create new variants on the pages to add to your experiment. Now, when you start testing, you can either create 2 very similar landing pages with small tweaks, or you can create 2 very different ones and then start to optimize that way. So it's really all up to you and how you want to start to test it. I prefer to do little tweaks at once, and that way you can change that way, but it's really up to you and how creative you feel when you start off.
Cool.
Call to action. Call to action, usually abbreviated as CTA, is an image, line of text that prompts your visitors, leads, and customers to take action. It is quite literally a call to take an action. The impact of the call to action depends on 2 things: where you place it and how you phrase it. And first off, I'll start about talking the importance of placement. Putting your call to action above the fold isn't always the best answer, although it is the most popular one. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the term fold, it refers to the portion of your page that is visible without having to scroll down. Placing the CTA above the fold can attract 80% of consumers' attention, but there are benefits to having below as well. Some customers don't like seeing the call to action right away because it makes them think like you are forcing the product on them before they even get the chance to know what the product is. If you're offering a complex product that requires a lengthy description, then it's better to have a call to action at the bottom. You give the visitor more time to digest the information. Second factor is how you phrase it. It's tricky because you can say the exact same thing 10 different ways, so finding the correct terms is key. Best practices for the call to action typically suggest using actionable language like sign up now, or call today.
Yeah, create a sense of urgency. That's exactly the ultimate goal. Is you want to get eyes on that phone number and then do the call to action. All right. What about color schemes, Mike?
Yeah, making sure that you have a site that's appealing to the customer is a key piece to them taking action on your site. When customers visit the site, they typically make up their mind within a few seconds, so it's important to gain their attention and trust fast. Take some time in planning out your landing page. Make choices on what will be most effective rather than making a choice simply on what you think looks nice. Doing this will engage visitors and reduce your bounce rate. Now I'm going to talk about some colors and just their effects. Blue stands for trustworthiness, loyalty, and sincerity. It's seen as an intellectual color that also has associations with communication, logic, and coolness. Yellow is seen as youthful, optimistic, and it grabs your attention. It's also associated with emotions, self-esteem, creativity, and friendliness. Red's very physical color, which also quickens the heart rate and promotes urgency. It stands for energy, courage, strength, excitement, and defiance. Green is often a color associated with wealth. It's a relaxing color, which is one of the easiest for your eyes to look at. It promotes balance, health, refreshment, restoration, and is also associated with the environment, which is perfect for our landscaping offer, which you can sign up to and start promoting today. Orange is an aggressive color that creates a call to action. It's associated with fun, warmth, passion, and security.
But I wouldn't describe you and I as gingers. We're not overly aggressive, but we are passionate.
Yes, that is very
okay.
true.
Good.
Very
makes sense.
Way to break that up. Pink is generally seen as a romantic feminine color. It stands for love, warmth, nurture, tranquility, and sexuality. Purple is a soothing color that has a spiritual element associated with luxury, vision, quality, and truth. Black's a powerful color that exudes sleekness, sophistication, and efficiency. An easy trick for making your landing page easy to navigate is to have the colors that are complementary and contrasting. You can use a color wheel to do this. A color wheel shows the relationships between colors.
Hence, ones you've got right here, Pulte blue and orange, and you'll actually see blue and orange on a lot of movie posters, like black and white, blue and orange. So yeah, it really does work, guys. If you ever maybe think you could bump up your conversion rate, check the background colors or the overall color theme on your landing page and see if that actually mixes well with the offer you're promoting. Mike, tell us about buttons.
Button design will help your chances of them standing out to site visitors, which will result in more action being taken on your page. I'm going to touch on a few strategies that have worked for me and will help you create effective buttons. Just like Henry mentioned, contrasting colors are a great way to make your button stand out from the rest of the page. This ties into the color scheme that we just talked about. Pick a color that makes it stand out, not one that you like best. Make your button look clickable. Adding a 3D element will increase the likelihood of it receiving clicks. Size is also important. Make it stand out and don't bury it on the page or people are likely to leave. Having an arrow point to your button will make it stand out and direct the customers to exactly what you want them to do. And the text that you use on the button is also very important. Make your intention for the customer pretty obvious. Call now to book, call now to be connected to are some examples of text that I use in my ads, on my buttons, sorry.
Here we go.
Okay, that would be that for that slide.
Outstanding.
Okay, when it comes to your content on the landing page, focus on the benefits of the product and don't just talk about the products more. The customer's already shown enough interest in your product to come to the landing page, and now it's your job to show them why your product is better than anyone else's. Just like the text you're looking at on the page right now, split test versus being more direct. Oops, sorry, 1 second, guys. Yeah, so examples are just the text you see here on the page. You can either be more direct with your text and say we offer these 4 things, or you can try and entice them with a little more creative language saying, is your lawn in desperate need of love? Just things like that. It all really depends on the customer, and you can test 2 examples of this. This is a perfect example of how to test a landing page.
This is one of the reasons, guys, we allow you to have multiple promo numbers for an offer, is that you can associate different promo numbers with different landing pages and creatives. And whenever I get asked that question, like which is better, direct or sort of indirect and more flowery, like my answer is always the same. I have no idea. You should be able to find that out. You need to split test this, and you can do that very easy with the tools we give you. If I knew, to be honest, I'd quit Ring Partner, become a publisher myself.
Okay. Oh, no, go back.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Just a few elements you guys can test here. Headlining content. For this, there aren't really any crazy secrets. Just experiment with different text to see what will work and then make little tweaks as you go. The beautiful thing about technology today is that it's super easy to run tests. On sites like Unbounce, you can actually set the weighting to get your landing pages to be shown at a 50-50 split or whatever you want. So for example, if you have one landing page that's working really well for you, you can set it to show 75% of the time. And you can have one that you're testing to show 25% of the time. So you can still drive the traffic to the site that's working and still filter the results into the other one. Images. I'll touch on images a little bit more in the next slide, but I wanted to say a little bit about them before. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, which is certainly more than you need in your landing page. So I would definitely recommend putting some time into testing different pictures. A lot of stuff is on, you can use forms. Not too relevant with call only ads, but I will touch on them a little bit. Definitely worth talking about. You can test different lengths of forms and where you place them on the landing page. Longer forms tend to get filled out less, but they're definitely higher quality applicants because they did take the time to go from start to finish. Now we're done.
All right. Number 5.
Images are equally important to ad copy. The Content Marketing Institute found that ad engagement increased by 65% when a new image was tested versus simply testing new ad copy. If you think about it, picking one image is much tougher than picking several, so pick a few and let the results be the jury for you. Changing the image, simple things like changing from a male to a female or a person sitting to a person standing can be all it takes to get the results you want. Placement is another way you can test the images. Some people say placing the image on the right so the reader can immediately start reading the content, and some say placing it on the left makes the image more prominent. Which one is really better? I'm not too sure. Test and find out. Here are 3 keys that will help guide your selection. 1, pick something compelling. Make it relate to whatever you're selling. And here are a few more ways to make the images compelling. Silhouettes. We tend to fill in silhouettes with ourselves and our aspirational dreams. Portals. Our attention is drawn into doorways, tunnels, windows, and openings. Cropped images. When we are only given one piece of an image, we tend to fill in the rest. Faces. We stare at the human face. This can work against us. But if you do use a human face, have them look at your headline, and you will get better results. 2, make it relevant to the page. If you're advertising bathroom fixtures, show bathroom fixtures in there. Don't show a couch. Just make sure that when the people come to your landing page, it is exactly what you are trying to sell. And then also, don't skimp out on the quality of the images. Don't just take images from the internet. Don't use grainy images, because when people see that, they're thinking that your landing page is just there because you have to have it there, when in fact you should actually take the time, get good images, and even pay for them if you have to.
Nice. All right, number 6, layout and placement.
This was a little bit confusing to me, and I actually did a fair bit of reading going into this. And there seems to be more evidence for placing the images on the left-hand side of the page, but not a substantial amount. There are some sites that allow you to use heat maps, and heat maps allow you to see where people look at on your landing page, no matter where the form is. People tend to scan pages quickly, looking for indicators if they should stay or not. Images, headlines, and bulleted copy tend to be where they look. Other items are badges, logos, contrasting colors, call to action button, headers, and footers. See where people look, and then try to test variations on the page to determine if the form location does in fact make a difference. And another way for this is to use F and Z patterns to your advantage. People tend to look at pages in the shape of an F, where there's a strong headline and subheadlines and bulleted copy. Pages that are less dense on information or structure typically lead visitors reading the page in the shape of a Z. Depending on how much information you have placed on your landing page, you can use these patterns to your advantage. And yeah, so then on to the next slide.
Very cool.
And then people are going to view offers differently. So what may appeal to one person could be completely disengage someone else. Some people like to be persuaded with a good sales pitch, and others like to read cold hard facts about why they should buy what you are selling. It can simply depend on what your offer is. There has been a common theme to this webinar, and that has been test. Hopefully all the information that was just provided will help steer you in the right direction.
Very cool. Thanks, Mike. A lot of really, really good content on there, guys. And we do have some questions in here. Jerry asks, how much coding do I need to know above making corrections with code, basic corrections? Jerry, I would say, Mike, you can sort of speak up to this if I'm wrong, but I would say not very much. There's a lot of programs out there that are specifically tailor-made for guys like you and me that don't have a lot of coding experience. So like Squarespace, WordPress, and things like that, like you don't actually need to code. You'll be able to drag and drop a lot of your content. You can actually go into the HTML window as well, in case you do want to sort of get into the nitty-gritty there and actually do some coding. But for the most part, for our purposes anyway, you're not going to need a lot of complicated coding.
No, and sites like Unbounce make it incredibly easy for you to create landing pages. Basically now it is just a drag and drop, where you have all of your icons on the left, and then you just basically drag them into the middle of your page, and you can adjust the sizes. That's where you can do all your fonts, your colors, your text, and everything like that. So Unbounce is an incredibly easy site.
Cool. We've got there we go. Let's restart. Mike, I wanted to ask you, with the advent of sort of call-only features, are landing pages still important for pay-per-call?
Yes, they are, because landing pages are a key component to your quality score for AdWords. And if you don't have a landing page, then you don't have a campaign, because Google won't approve your ads to run. And also, people who do see your call-only ads, there is your link to your landing page in there. So if they wanted to, they could copy and paste your link into the URL, and then go to your site to, in fact, see what your landing page does look like. And if it looks quality, then they're probably going to have a better chance of clicking on it. And also with your call to action and your button, then they can call your page from the landing page, call your offer from the landing page.
Right. Very cool. Good to know. And then I guess the last question before we wrap up, Mike. How often do you split test, or do you guys split test?
Not as often as I should. Right. But although after doing all the research for this landing page webinar, it also has encouraged me to start testing a little bit more. And even though I don't test as much as I should, I'm always making tweaks to my landing pages to see if that does, in fact, change the amount of visitors I'm getting.
Right. Very cool. All right, guys. Well, everybody, thank you for attending on the webinar. Of course, our offer for Bing ads still exists. Go to this URL, and if you're not a Bing user now, go ahead and sign up. You get $100 worth of house money, basically, to test some offers, maybe split test some landing pages. Wink, wink. And if you do have any questions that we didn't get to, please email myself, henry@ringpartner.com. Thank you all again for attending. Mike, thanks for joining us again.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Look forward to hosting another one.
Absolutely. We'll see you all very soon. Take care.
Did I miss a slide?